Israel. What is Israel? What is this whole idea of the children of Israel? Who are the children of Israel? We have to understand that the knowledge and the symbolism behind what the word Israel is heavily adulterated, is heavily misapplied, is heavily misunderstood. The whole idea carries a lot of information in modern day terms, including people who are thought to bring liberation to the people who have, misinformed people about what Israel is. Now, what do I mean? Israel is Isis, is Ra, and then is El, right? So, Israel, right? So you have is Israel. Yeah. Now, trying to understand what this means leads me to break this down further in the astrological symbolism. Because we have to understand the ancients hid everything in symbols. And this isn't just the astrology of what the word Israel is and what the symbolism is. This is also telling a story. And we need to understand what this story is. You understand? Because we have been tricked by the colonials, by the colonizers. We have been tricked by the colonizers to think of people with pale skin as those who are against us, regardless of whether it's Asia, Europe, or any part of the world. As far as they are pale skin, we are being conditioned to see them as enemy. But what I'm about to demonstrate here is going to make a lot of people have a shift in their paradigm. They are going to experience a paradigm shift. Now, what do I mean? Isis is the mother, right? Isis is the mother. Ra is the son. El is the father, right? So what is Isis? Isis is the moon, which rules Cancer, right? Ra is the sun, which rules Leo. El is Saturn, which rules Capricorn and Aquarius. I want you guys to understand what is going on here. Isis is the mother, which is the moon. The moon rules Cancer. Ra is the sun, the child, which rules Leo. And then El is Saturn, which is the father, which rules Capricorn and Aquarius. Now, understand what is going on here. Cancer and Leo have something in common. This is the cosmic energy, astrological symbolism or energy of African people. Why? Cancer being the mother, right? Africa is known as what? The motherland. Follow me, follow me. Leo is the sun. Africans are known as what? The sun people. Pay attention. You understand what I just did here now? Now let's take it further. We have El left. El is Saturn. Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius, right? Now, when I say Capricorn and Aquarius or China, there is Saturnian people. People do not understand me. They build. They are builders, which is Capricorn. They innovate. Technology, innovation, invention is Aquarius. They build. You understand what's going on here now? They build. Capricorn is the builder. Is the engineer. Their engineering is top notch. These are the two signs of engineering in the zodiac signs, Aquarius and Capricorn. And there's nothing you want to describe about China as a people that doesn't fall under this category. And these two signs are ruled by Saturn. These people are community oriented, society oriented, society. is Capricorn. Community, tribes, groups of people, decentralization, people-centered, people-oriented is what Aquarius is. Technology, invention, and all of that stuff that China is, that China represents, that we all know China to be. You understand what is going on here now? Africa and China are the children of Israel. Yes. Africa and China are the children of Israel. So a lot of people don't know. Now, China and Africa have a very strong genetic linkage that dates far back. I listened to one metaphysical master on a show one time. His name is Dr. Phil Valentine. He said something, I think on Brother Rich's channel, about Black Magic 363, right? Yes. Okay, which is now 363 Empire, yes. Yeah, before it was Black Magic 363, right? So, on that, live, on that interview, he made a revelation of how the Chinese, conducted, a long research. They funded a research to know their origin and discover that they have a strong link with Africa. Now, what do I mean? That is just what someone said. It could be an opinion, but listen, watch what is going on here now and the astrology of it. Isis is the mother, Ra is the son. Now let's bring out Cancer here, and then let's bring out Leo here. Saturn rules Capricorn. Do you know what? Capricorn is the opposite of Cancer. It's the sign that opposes Cancer. Aquarius is the sign that opposes Leo. Do you understand what is going on here? An opposite is balance. Alchemically, metaphysically, spirituality. Opposite means balance. Even in astrology, in the chart, opposite indicates things that are best for you. You understand? You don't need a yes partner, basically, is what the opposition means. You need a partner that will constantly contend with you to make you a better version of yourself. Even when you're going wrong, you don't need a partner that when you say something, your word is final. That mentality, that patriarchal mentality that a lot of people have is why society is collapsing. You people are getting it wrong. Balance is opposition. Opposition is balance. You should be thinking of sitting or spending your life with a partner that can tell you, I see where you're going with this stuff, but I don't think that's the right direction. This is the right direction. Not when you say, woman, shut up. You don't talk when I'm talking. That is ignorance. That is stupidity. You don't do that. Opposition is what creates balance. And I'm not saying this for women to eventually start opposing their partner. No. You do it in a mature way. You tell your partner, I understand what you're saying, I get where you're going, but I don't think that is the right idea. Now check this out. You make those suggestions. And it's left for your partner to look at it and say, oh shit, yes. Not everything, yes sir. Not everything. You don't need, as a man, you should be scared of a yes sir woman. That's not the woman for you, I guarantee you. No matter how you want to rationalize it, it doesn't make any sense. You're just telling yourself that because you have a fragile ego. You need a woman that will sharpen you. Iron sharpened iron. That is what opposition is. That contention is needed. That is why the cosmos designed it as an opposition. You understand what I'm saying? You need a woman that will tell you that direction you're going is not good. Not a woman that is scared to tell you, to help you better yourself. The contention is not for both of you to be at loggerhead. It is the iron that sharpens the iron. That is what the contention is. It's needed. It's needed to happen. It's why in astrology, 7th house describes a partner. It is the nature of how your partnership is going to go with all of the planets that sits in that house. That is the sign that opposes you, which is the sign that is at the ascendant is you. The sign in the 7th house describes what you need. I don't care what you think. The planets and the sign that sits in your 7th house and the ruler of the sign the planetary ruler of the sign that sits in your 7th house is going to describe the nature of what you need in a relationship for you to feel like the relationship is good. Why is that indicated by the 7th house, the place of the opposition? Answer that. You see, we have a lot of ignorance and misunderstanding about this whole stuff about relationship. It is opposition that brings balance. Do you see what I just demonstrated here? Cancer is the opposite of Capricorn. Leo is the opposite of Aquarius. This is the harmony, the connection between we and the Chinese. You're basically, the Chinese you're seeing, those are basically African people in pale skin, but you don't know. Those are your people. Those are our people, but you don't know. That is what I just demonstrated here. You know, the Yorubas have a cosmology where at the dawn of the universe, when the sun was about to take center position, so all of the other planets can revolve around it, one guy stepped in to want to take control. Now listen to this very well. One guy stepped in. Actually, Jupiter, in Yoruba cosmology, is known as Obatala. Jupiter stepped in to wrestle with the sun to take center position so that it can be the center of our solar system. Saturn then stepped in and checked Jupiter and said, no, it's not in your place. Step back. This is the person who has enough gravitational pull to sustain the universe. You can't do that. The sustenance, the stability, and the energy and force needed to stabilize the universe, to keep it functioning, only the sun has that ability with its vast gravitational pull. It's why anything that moves through our solar system that doesn't seem to conform to the same orbit that the gravitational pull of the sun orchestrates things around, they identify it as a threat. For example, 3i Atlas, the comet, I talked about it in my WhatsApp predictions group. It was giving them panic, and since that comet ran through our galaxy, our solar system, till now I don't think the West have recovered from anything. We need to understand how to read these things. The comet carries a message. It's moved through the sign of Sagittarius. Now, why is that important? It carried a message. And it moved in close proximity to Mars, the planet Mars. You understand my point? And then, okay, no, it didn't move through the sign of Sagittarius. It moved through the sign of Scorpio. It moved in the sign of Scorpio. Mars was in Scorpio then. Right? So, in this Yoruba cosmology, right, Saturn had to step in. Saturn, being the father, had to step in. Now, you know what is funny? When you pull up a chart, if you put Leo at the ascendant, guess which sign falls in the 5th place? It is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is the child. Jupiter is the is a younger son. It's a son to the sun. The sun rules Leo. So it is the son of the sun that wanted to usurp his father. You have to consider the fact that Jupiter is the planet of colonialism, imperialism, invasion, usurping people, supplanting people and taking all of their stuff. The supplanter, that is this energy here, which is the 5th place of Leo, the son of the sun, wanted to overthrow his father. But there's a higher father that stepped in and said, nah, you can't continue to do this. Pay attention, because this goes into a lot of story. The story here that I'm trying to get you guys to understand. Say, nah, you can't run game. You can't do that stuff. You don't have what it takes to hold, to stabilize the solar system. Now, guess what now? Saturn is said, which stepped in this whole, chaos. Stepped in and told this guy, step back. This is the guy. The sun is who is going to stay in the middle position here. You have to step back. And he did. That is basically like the grandfather speaking to the grandson. You better, if you do, except you want us to call your age mates them, your age grade them. They are going to tie you in the tree in the village square. They are going to flog you until you receive sense. Kind of discipline. That is the planet of Saturn. Saturn is discipline. Now, Capricorn, which Saturn rules, is the 6th place of the sun. The 6th place points to how you manage your life. This describes the nature of how you go about managing your life. Is why you hear the astrologers tell you that Capricorn is the manager of the sun. Are you paying attention? or Saturn, which rules Capricorn, is the manager of the sun because he rules the 6th place of Leo, which is ruled by the sun. It manages the affairs of the son. This is the grandfather who is telling his own son direct. Because the father and the mother, Saturn, Moon, came together and had the son. You understand my point? So we're looking at Israel. Israel is a family unit. Now, see what happened. Take this one into mind. Now, consider Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of foreigners. Who are the colonials? Who are the colonials? Who are the colonial masters? Who are the imperialists? Who are the usurpers? The invaders? They are the foreigners. This plays into a lot of things. Pay attention. That cosmology they had describes the story of what we are currently experiencing now in the reality. This thing is telling us something. Something is happening. Now, this guy's intention for usurping his father, which is the sun, the test for that has not quenched. You understand my point? But because Saturn is there, he can't really move. Now, it's not because Jupiter is big. So why then is he scared of Saturn? You have to understand, this is the chief titan. Saturn is said to be the sun in our solar system before it got all that, stuff that physics describe about how, a sun can, lose its light and or suddenly become a planet and all that stuff. Saturn was said to be the sun, a black sun for that matter, in our solar system. It's the chief titan. This is final boss energy. Nobody messes with this guy. This is a force to reckon with on its own. So yes, it's not a matter of size. It's a matter of the authority that it wields. This is a planet of authority. So you can put this guy in check. As a matter of fact, this guy happens to be his grandson. Pay attention. This guy happens to be his grandson. But what happened there? Consider the fact that Saturn rules Aquarius. Aquarius being the sign of detachment. So the father at some point saw the way things were going on in the family and he removed himself from the equation. He removed himself from the family and detached himself from the family and went out to build something so that he can come back. He went to a distant land to build something and sojourned there in hopes of coming back after he's done, you understand, to reunite back with his family. So basically what this means is at some point in our history, a section of us left the whole tribe of Africa and went to Asia to reside. More like it was as if the father or the grandfather knew about the plans of the grandson, but he had a contingency plan. You have to understand, Saturn is the planet of long-term planning, and it rules Aquarius, which is being futuristic. So you saw what was going to happen. I knew this guy was going to prevail because he was pulling all of the weight to do that. He knew this guy was going to prevail. So he had a backup plan. So he left Africa, which is the motherland. He left the wife, which is the moon, and the sun, which is our sun, right? I went to Asia and resided there and started to build from there. So if you go to the temples in ancient Kemet, you will find drawings of our people in this skin color that we know, in melanated skin color, in martial art positions. What is martial art doing on the temples of the wall of Kemet? On the wall of the temples of Kemet, what is martial art doing there? So a lot of our stuff was exported to Asia. Pay attention. Was exported to Asia as a contingency plan. So when the father left, he gave this guy, you have to consider, this is the planet of colonialism. So when you hear the whole stuff about, now let's come back to the diagram that I drew here. When you hear the whole stuff about we were the ones that created the Oyibo man, we created this foreign alien entity, That's now no reason, which we know as the beast, coming out of Europe. It was an experiment. You understand my point? It was an experiment that we did. Now Leo is here, right? And then in the fifth place of Leo is Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is the son of the sun, which is Leo. In now usurped is that to take center place in the universe. You understand what I mean? That is what is happening in the reality. The foreigner, the European, which is our creation, our firstborn creation, that didn't come out quite well. Now, if you listen to the cosmology of Zeus, all of this demiurge shit, that they attempt to be the sun, no, that's not the sun. Jupiter is the demiurge. If that, we are going to go by that. It is not our sun. This is what people don't understand about occults. You just guzzle everything that you take in. First of all, the demiurge is that side of your mind that goes overboard with things. It has no limits. It cannot be checked. We time it to be the ego. But well, this is more like the ego of the ego. There's a lesser ego of the ego. There's this ego that is regulated by the sun. It stays in check, which is the sun, your soul. It stays in check. But there's a lesser part of the ego, which is the son of the sun. Because if you put Aries here, then Leo is here, right? That will be like the ego of the first place, which is Aries. But Sagittarius is the ego. Sagittarius is a sign of overboard. Going overboard with things, having no limit, no bounds, is what Sagittarius is. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you understand the cosmology. This happens to be the demiurge, which is called Zeus. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Jupiter is Zeus, who overthrown the Titan. Are you paying attention? Who overthrown the Titan, not the sun. It is not the sun that was said to overthrow the Titan. No. It is this guy. Jupiter isn't the sun. Zeus isn't the sun. Zeus is Jupiter. Zeus isn't the sun. Zeus is Jupiter. He overthrew the sun to assume center place. The manifestation of that mythology that we are seeing. This is like ancient mythology prophecy of people who knew how to put cosmic science and how they've seen what is going to happen into a mythology, telling us that the European, the foreigner, was eventually going to overthrow original people, which is the sun people, from their rightful place as the monarchs, because the sun is monarchy, kingship, royalty of the universe, and take center place. This is the demiurge that rule and overthrew the Titans. The sun is very massive. You don't consider the sun a Titan, you consider the demiurge. You are not thinking. Oyibo is messing, using CIA and all these advanced psychologists to mess around with the occult. And they are giving you and you are reading. You think you are wise, you woke, you come on social media and you're talking. This thing. Now, this guy now, the grandfather, which is Saturn, gone to a land and has built wealth. This is the form of China. That was like the backup plan. China has gone to Asia, carried a lot of our knowledge there, and started to grow from there, outside of the influence of this, because it was already foreseen that this foreigner is eventually going to usurp and take center place in the realm of things all over the world, and that's what he did. Now, guess what? Jupiter is rules Sagittarius and Pisces. How did the foreigner take over the world? Is that not true religion? Is that not what Sagittarius is? Is that not what Pisces is? Religion and what spirituality? Are you guys following? And then they came with the dogma. You have to understand, this guy rules two mutable signs. Sagittarius rules two mutable signs. It's why its place in creation is not fixed. So it can't remain center position in the scheme of things, is what it means. The sun rules Leo. Leo is a fixed sign. So the sun's place in the universe is fixed. Leo is fixed. African people's place is fixed. All that stuff about wanting to kill Africans is just as much as they can do. We are going nowhere. Our position in the reality is fixed. That's Leo. Leo is a fixed sign. Saturn rules a cardinal sign and a fixed sign. You understand what I'm saying? Even China is going nowhere. China, is going nowhere. Now, look at it. This guy has discovered that, after all the time he spent there, he seemed to like, it's like I've detached myself so much from my people. Let me go and know what is going on. Only to come back now and discover that the foreigner has taken center position. and has overthrown the sun. The sun. Pay attention. This is what the cosmology is trying to do. Or mythology is trying to say. Has overthrown the sun, and now he's coming back to where the motherland. That is China. That is China. Are you paying attention? That is China returning back to the motherland to reconcile with his wife and the family and the son, which is family, to reconcile with his wife, family. This the moon. Cancer is family, is the wife, is the woman in the house, the mother, right? And the son. You understand what I'm saying here? Okay. This is the story of what is playing now in the reality. For those that say Chinese are mining our resources, have they killed you? People want to claim to always be wise sometimes. How many insects have Chinese killed in this country since they stepped in? Answer the question. These people have been killing your fathers since day one. You have to God. People don't understand. People don't understand. These people have been killing you since day one. Chinese are doing what they are doing because your government owes them. There could be other side of the story, I don't care, but you have to transcend that mindset, because at the end of the day, it's yin and yang. You will find the bad eggs. Even in your kinsmen, there are people that still want to kill you. You don't know. Maybe you know. Your own blood wants to kill you, but you are worried about a foreigner that just barely coming in to just tap resources because your government owes him. But you're not bothered about the one that has denied you your cosmic rights, which is the foreigner, the supplanter, the usurper, the colonial master. This is all Jupiter stuff: colonialism, dogma, education, orientation in one sense, to make you believe in dogma and all of the lies. These are two mutable signs, so they are easily used to disperse deception. They are used for deception. You understand my point? The school center is where they orient you. That's the sign of orientation. They orient you. They confuse your reality. You are under the influence of a mutable sign, but that is why I say this place isn't fixed, so it can't stay here. It is a mutable sign. It is just an energy that comes as a rite of passage before a new beginning, or before a fixed sign. So basically, after Sagittarius comes Capricorn, which is a cardinal sign, basically, and after Pisces comes Aries, which is a cardinal sign. So it's a transition from one thing to the next. It's what the Egyptians were saying about the mystery. The mystery of the caterpillar. From the caterpillar, you understand, from the caterpillar to the cocoon stage, into the butterfly stage. You know? I didn't draw it well, don't mind my drawing. Into the butterfly stage. This is the metamorphosis stage. In all of this is what a mutable sign represents mainly. The transition, the flexibility, the mutability from one thing to the next before a beginning comes. That is what this old supplanter, this usurper's place, this foreigner's place in our reality is about. Hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. China and Africa are the children of Israel. China and Africa are the children of Israel. Yes. You understand what I just did here now? So the father, China, that detached himself from the family, from the child, or you consider that the detachment of the father, which is Aquarius, opposing Leo, from the child to go sojourn in a place and started to innovate and invent and build what business. Capricorn is the sign of business. In a land where nobody occupied, he went there. You understand? The earth is very massive, so they occupied, they picked Asia as where to go. Because knowing that the usurper, Jupiter, the invader. Jupiter is invasion. It's colonialism. It's education. It's dogma. It's orientation. It's education. It's religion. This is what the Oyibo man used. This is what the Oyibo man used. That we are not paying attention to. So the father is returning. If you hear all those movies about the father returning and all of that, yes, the father, the titan, the chief titan is returning. And we are seeing that as he embodies the energy of China, Russia, BRICS, all of that stuff, but predominantly China. That's how I want you guys to focus. China. He has returned. And he has come to Africa to free his people. Aquarius, Saturn rules Aquarius. Aquarius is a sign of liberty and freedom. Do you understand what I'm saying? And we are in the age of Aquarius, right? And what did I tell you people? I said when Aquarius is rising, Leo is setting. Leo is what? Is Africa. The stability, the balance that China needs to be on the global stage is the sovereignty and autonomy of Africa. And Africa is going to rise. Nothing is going to stop it. So that balance needs to set in. And then after the age of Aquarius comes the age of Capricorn. Capricorn opposes Cancer, which is still Africa, which is the motherland, right? Which is the motherland, right? So we still have two ages to serve as a balance to China. There's a lot that we have in common. There's a lot they are bringing to us. There's a lot that we have to give them back. You now understand why it's normal for our people to go to China. That is the Igbos. To go to China. Do you now understand? There's a whole connection with this stuff here. Even though they say that we are of the energy of Jupiter, right? More like the Jupiter representation of like the good seed, yeah. Like the good seed, like the one that didn't follow the Basi, but like we are all like African blood. So the Jupiter representation I'm talking about is not the one I mean for like we Igbos. No, it's the foreigner. You know what I mean by the foreigner? The European, right? You know the European I'm talking because Russia too is Europe. You understand my point? Yeah. So the European. The European. So the West, basically, West, not the East. Western Europe, let me use that word. Western Europe, yeah. So these are the guys that came and fuck shit up. They are our children. They are our subordinates. This is the subordinate entity that was said in the mythology that is a demiurge that rose. That rose to, you know, to Olympian, is it Olympian? Olympus. Olympus is the home of the gods. Zeus! That's fucking Zeus, the king of the gods. They termed themselves gods, which is the elite, them, you know, the foreign powers and all of that stuff. But they are going down now. You understand what I'm saying? They are going down. So yeah, I just said, let me explain this thing to you. Africa and China are the children of Israel. So the whole reunion of the father returning back home to reunite his children with what he has built and tell them, oh, this is how I did this stuff, and then export that knowledge back here. Talking about exportation. I hope this video isn't too long. Jupiter is a planet of exportation. Let's come outside of the mythology. Let's just deal with the symbolism of all those things mean, right? Jupiter and Saturn conjunct in 0 degrees of Aquarius. Do you understand my point? So this is basically like China and then the exporting of everything that China has built so far. This is the first time in over how many centuries that the sun, that Jupiter and the Saturn has ever conjunct in Aquarius. And they conjunct in the 0 degrees. The 0 degrees is the alpha. Is the alpha degree. Who is the alpha? This guy. This is the chief titan. That is Saturn, right? The father, which is in the form of China, currently coming, is returning. That's the father returning home. Guess where Jupiter currently is now? It's currently in Cancer. You understand what I'm saying, guys? He's currently in Cancer. He's coming home. Do you know where they are doing the naval drill? BRICS naval drill. It's in South Africa. Is that not the motherland? Is that not Africa? Are you guys clocking what is happening here now? So the stars tells a story that is being revealed in time. You understand what I'm saying here now? That is being revealed in time. And it's important that we pay attention to what it's saying. It's not all of the old noise and all of that shit. It's coming. When Jupiter eventually moves into Leo, it's game over. It's game over. Africa's celebration is here. Jupiter is victory. Africa's victory is here. French has lost, or most of their colonies. AS is going to expand, I guarantee you. Because the planet of expansion is in the sign of Cancer, which is the sign of the motherland. You don't understand? AS is going to expand. Expansion is coming. Victory has come. And the expansion of victory. So, territory is being spread out. You understand my point now? Territory is being spread out. So, we're in the alpha degree. The conjunction happened in the alpha degree. 29 degree is the omega. This 0 degrees is the alpha. So, this happened in 0 degrees of Aquarius, right? The alpha is back. That is the father. We have to understand, you're seeing the Chinese. These are you. Those are us. But you are seeing them in pale skin. You guys don't understand. Those are your people. They eat herbs like you. They don't eat the kind of food that the Europeans eat. Think about it. Why are they so rich in culture? You have to ask yourself, which kind of Oyibo people are this one that are so rich in culture? Preserving culture, preserve tradition, and all of these things. Even we self, we allow Oyibo to colonize us. We don't even know how to preserve culture again. These guys do that stuff. You are seeing your people, but in pale skin. You don't understand? In Igbo, we call our infinite spirit, like our soul, we call it chi. Then they call their own chi. Funny enough, China has the word chi in it. For those my Igbo brothers that want to be saying, what is this one saying? This is China. This is chi. You don't understand? So you... What do they call the chi? The divine spark, right? Is that not the same to watch? There's a lot of connection between we and these guys. These are your people. For all my brothers that go to China, shout out to all of you that go to China to do business. But I want to use this opportunity, if you've watched this video to the end, I want to use this opportunity to tell you that the times are changing now. And if you know anybody that is into selling of generators, tell them to sell off every stock that they have and shut down that business. That business is going to go obsolete. It's going to go obsolete. I think I'll do a new video for that. I'll do a video out of like my generosity. I'm going to do a new video to break that down. Yes. So I'll see you guys in the next video.